Today, I'm going to try to draw this garden entrance in Shrewsbury, England, and this was way, way harder than it should have been. And I'm hoping that talking through it will help me understand why. If you're new here, I'm learning to draw while I travel the world, and this is my 161st attempt. Some of these end up okay, some don't, and my opinion will probably be different from yours. None of this is objective. So no matter what I say in this video, I'd love to know what you genuinely think, good or bad, as long as you have a good attitude, down in the comments. Speaking of that, I just want to mention how nice it is to receive so many consistent comments from a handful of you. I don't know how you initially found me on here, or if you're even interested in this specific niche, but I'm happy to have you, and your support does not go unnoticed. Every time I get a comment from anyone, but especially those of you who pop in all the time to tell me how I'm doing, it really does mean a lot to me. Anyway, this drawing gave me trouble from the moment I decided to draw it. While the reference video was recording, I stood here with my pocket sketchbook and tried to understand how I was going to make it work. On the surface, this seems incredibly straightforward, and not unlike other drawings I've done in the past. So maybe that's problem number one. I expected this to be simple on the basis of familiarity. Unfortunately, while yes, I have drawn things vaguely similar to this, the balustrades in Tbilisi, Georgia, and Valladolid, Spain come to mind, those weren't as proportionally specific as something like this type of archway. But I didn't really think about that. Problem number two, I suppose, would be the perspective. I complain a lot about perspective on this channel, and that's because it's an all-consuming, ubiquitous component. It's just part of everything in drawing, so it always needs to be considered, I think. Here, you might notice that the bottom part of the fence and the entranceway is slanting up and to the right, and the top is doing the opposite, slanting down to the right. But this is also on a decline, which I think played a significant role in confusing the hell out of me. I'm on a hill. So pocket sketchbook in hand, I first quickly sketched a little scene that I thought would be easy, which wasn't, and I did so in wildly inaccurate perspective. Even when I sat down, which is usually a sign of being ready, I told my wife to wait a minute so that I could get my bearings again, because I didn't understand where to start or which way was even up. And then there's the contrast. This scene, as you can see, is lit from behind, which throws all of this central focal point into shadow. You can still make out plenty of the details, but they are significantly darkened. Thus lies problem number three, I guess. I have such a hard time with this. Part of me wanted to ignore it, but another part of me wanted to accurately represent the totality of the scene, and those things are mutually exclusive. So I had to choose, and ultimately I chose to embrace the darkness. Ultimately, I shaded over a lot of the detail, which was probably for the best because, it wasn't that great anyway. But that meant that I'd wasted a lot of time. What I should have done, I now realize, is try to capture the broader shapes of darkness and light and not get so caught up in all of the small stuff, including the precise proportions. Because if it was all in darkness anyway, I could have made that more of an iterative process and arrived there in the end anyway. This is yet another example of my missing the forest for the trees problem, which is obviously pretty frustrating, especially in the moment when it seems like nothing is working. That said, though, the perspective is generally correct by the end. The contrast, while certainly not good, exists to some extent, which I'm happy about. And even though this was not the beautiful cakewalk I'd imagined, it is yet another drop in the bucket of experience, which means that the next time I sit down to draw, I have this to reference. I can look back to this and think, well, here's how I did this, I should maybe try that differently, etc. And that's how I like to think about all of these. Some are good, some are not so good, but they're all points of reference. They're all these nuggets of experience for me that can and often do inform how I approach a subject or a scene. And even though I don't like this at all, I really, really don't, I'm comforted by what this has given me and will continue to give me into the future. So I really would love to know what you think about this one, so please feel free to let me know in the comments. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this one, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.